What's going on, everybody? I am back to break down this 9-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. Excited to get into it. Before we do, want to take a quick second to thank every single one of you that has been supporting my content. Yesterday, we reached 100,000 views on this channel. Seems like just yesterday I started this whole thing. So the fact that I was able to reach that yesterday, I should say we were able to reach that yesterday, really does mean a lot to me, so I want to say thank you to everyone that supports my content, anyone that takes a second to hit that like button when they watch my content, anyone that has subscribed to the channel, anyone that's going to subscribe to the channel on this video. Thank you so much, because this would not be possible without you. And it was a really cool milestone, so 100,000 views, excited to keep it going, giving you guys the top plays on the slate, the guys to get you in the green and winning some money, as always, the goal on this channel. We're going to continue to do that. Going to be putting this video up. I will be going live later on as well. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. If you didn't know, all the month of December, holiday season, I am offering a discount on my premium content over here on Patreon. You can get access to the Discord package for only $1 for the month. If you want to sign up for that today, I also do offer an NBA DFS premium package. If you like my free content, I guarantee you're going to really love the paid content, premium NBA projections, NBA data sheet, player stats, team stats, play context stats, and the Discord chat access. I mean, obviously the projections are a big key to this, but you get the core plays. People love seeing the core plays. Yeah, I break it down as far as my top 3 guys at the guard, forward, and center position on both websites. And this video is sponsored by Parlay Play. If you're not familiar, Parlay Play is a player props format. Really cool format over here, different than building your lineups. They're offering some really sweet deals. If you do deposit today, you will get an instant match deposit up to $50 when you use my code KJK003. Yesterday's picks were supposed to be Drew Holiday and Jared Allen, so I'm putting this up on the screen. This is not today's picks, but Drew Holiday didn't end up playing. So for the Bankroll Challenge, we're still at 4-6 on the record. We started with $10. We have $38.27, so we went 4-6 so far. Really not the best record, but yet we've still more than tripled our bankroll. So there's money to be had over here, guys. You get the free money when you deposit, right up instantaneously up to $50, and they also give you a free $10 right off the bat as well before you even deposit. So check them out, guys. Use code KJK003. Click the link below in the description. Is the easiest way to use my code and create that account. I'm also going to be commenting it and pinning it to the top of the comments, and I also put it in the chat on my live streams, which I will be giving you today's Parlay Play of the days in the live stream later on, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I always do the live stream an hour and a half before lock, so check them out, guys, and let's go ahead and start getting into the breakdown. As always, if you do enjoy the content, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Let's get into it. First game on the slate, Miami taking on Detroit. We have Jimmy Butler listed as out, Bam Adebayo listed as out, Jeremiah Grant listed as out, Tyler Hero is questionable. Obviously, that could be a pretty big piece of news if he's out. Max Struss, Gabe Vincent, going to continue to see more minutes. If he's in, he becomes one of the best players on the Miami side of things. Regardless, Kyle Lowry is going to continue to take on a tremendous amount of responsibility, a lot of usage going to Kyle Lowry, so he's going to be a tremendous play on this slate tonight, especially if there is no Tyler Hero. Continue to play him. Same rule can be said for Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham's usage really going up with there being no Jeremiah Grant anymore. Both these guys' price tags have been adjusted, but for good reason, because they're going to just continue to see so much usage that the price tag is warranted, because their usage is going to be through the roof. So certainly like those two guys in this game. As far as the total in this game and everything, this game comes in right now with a 206.5 over-under with a 7-point spread in favor of the Miami Heat. So not exactly the fastest-paced game in the world. We do have a very large slate, and there's some other games that are much faster paced. So just a little bit of a side note there. I wouldn't be getting too crazy on this game outside of the main candidates in usage. We also do have Dwayne Dedmon seeing a lot of minutes, though, with there being no Bam Adebayo still. So if you want to go to him as a value play, definitely would not call you crazy. And Saddiq Bey does grade out as a pretty good play as well. Specifically over there on FanDuel, though, he's a lot cheaper. He's only $4.9 on FanDuel. So DraftKings, I'm not too sure that I'd be prioritizing him. Priced up now in a slow-paced game. Not having too much interest in this game outside of the main guys. San Antonio Spurs taking on the Sacramento Kings. Total in this game. This game comes in right now with a 227 over-under with a 4.5-point spread. So this is indeed one of those faster-paced games. And these teams are dealing with some injuries. Marvin Bagley continues to be out. Terrence Davis continues to be out. Specifically on the Sacramento side, there's no Alex Len. There's no Davion Mitchell. Rashawn Holmes is listed as questionable, but I'd expect him to be able to return in this one. And if he does, I think he's going to have a really big, high upside, usage rate, rebounding upside, all that stuff with all these guys being out. Halliburton Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield also going to be tremendous plays. These three guys should be taking on a lot of responsibility, should be playing a lot of minutes, and for that reason, their upside is going to be huge. Halliburton last time up put up 47 DraftKings points. He continues to be underpriced at only 6'9". He was very underpriced before at only 5'8", 6K, but still at 6'9". I'll continue to play him. Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield are certainly underpriced, though. Harrison Barnes last time was my lock of the night at 5'7". I said there's no way he doesn't get there at that price tag. He went out there and put up 34 DraftKings points. That game was a blowout. Not the best game in the world from him, but he still got you there at that price tag. I mean, 34, that definitely won't disappoint you. And, that's definitely not a letdown. Could have been a lot better, but could have been a ton worse. So he's going to continue to be a tremendous play. Harrison Barnes, Buddy Hield, like I said, going to continue to play these guys. And then Maytu, if he's continuing to see a lot of minutes with there being no Bagley, he played 36 minutes last time out. He becomes a tremendous value play at 4'8". So the Sacramento side specifically, there's a lot of options you can go to. On the San Antonio Spurs side of things, I continue to say it, but it's just true. We're really going to be keeping a focus on these big three, DeJounte Murray, Jakob Poeltl, and Derek White. They've been taking a lot of usage, a lot of responsibility in this offense, and they're the three guys that have the most upside by far. So they're the guys that I'd be looking to. I also continue to say that Keldon Johnson and Derek White are negatively correlated. Typically, when Keldon Johnson has a bigger game, Derek White kind of takes a back seat, and when Derek White has a big game, Keldon Johnson kind of takes a back seat. So I would be playing either one of those guys in your lineups. Both of them, probably not so much. Last time, Derek White only had 34, not the best game in the world. You look at Keldon Johnson, he went out there and put up 38. Derek White didn't completely fall flat in his face, but for his price tag, I would have much rather played Keldon Johnson. The only argument you can make to play them together is indeed that Keldon Johnson is that much cheaper. So if you think that makes sense, wouldn't call you crazy. We have Devin Vassell back now. He's going to be cutting into some of these other guys' minutes that we were considering playing, like a Lonnie Walker, like a Bryn Forbes. Lonnie Walker continues to be a versatile player that can certainly have big upside games at times. So if you want to go really risky in tournaments, good go there. Portland taking on Memphis. Next game on the slate, there is no John Morant. There is no CJ McCollum. Dennis Smith Jr. listed as questionable in this one. He is more so probable, though, so expect him to be back. I don't think that's really a big piece of news. With Damian Lillard being back, all offense is going to roll through him. He's going to have a bunch of upside. 63 DraftKings points last time out. I think you could see more of the same taking on the Memphis team that has been very bad defensively all season long. It's a 219.5 over-under. Not the fastest-paced game in the world, but the fact of the matter is Damian Lillard's usage is going to be so high that he can just continue to crush. As long as CJ McCollum is out, I mean, just continue to play Damian Lillard. Like I said, Memphis has not been good defensively. Looking at my defensive half-court and putbacks tool over here on premium content and figuring out where Memphis ranks on the season, you see they are 21st in the league defensively, 22nd in half-court points per play allowed, and 16th in offensive rebound percentage. So they're also allowing a decent amount of offensive rebounds. So should have plenty of opportunities should this Portland offense. And Yusuf Nurkic falls right behind Damian Lillard as a great play. He only played 15 minutes last time out, though. I mean, he had a right finger issue, I guess. He only played 15 minutes. That's a little bit concerning to me. He was a guy that really hadn't been playing that much minutes as is, and then finally got up to the 31, 39 mark. I mean, you had a lot of interest in him. If he has a finger injury that's limiting him, that's kind of scary. But we do know one thing. Norman Powell is going to continue to be the second guy in line to Damian Lillard, so he should be continue to be a good play in the mid-range. And then some other guys in Larry Nance, Anthony Simmons, Robert Covington going to continue to be role players as well. Larry Nance has been playing a ton of minutes. He hasn't had a big game yet. I think it's just a matter of time before he does. So I certainly would be willing to play him in your tournament lineups. Ben McLemore, also a guy that could see a decent amount of run here. With Dennis Smith Jr. being back, maybe that cuts into his usage a little bit, but those guys are fairly obvious candidates. And on the Memphis side, it's pretty obvious too. There is no John Morant, so it's going to be Jaren Jackson Jr., Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bane, Tyus Jones, those four guys. Kind of similar to the San Antonio Spurs offense that I talked about. Everything's running through these guys. It's very obvious where it's going. Solidified minutes. We know exactly who's playing the most. These are the four guys. So these are the four guys that I'd be really toning in on in your lineups. Obviously, the more of them together that you play, the more negatively correlated they are, but they do have some pretty respectable cheap price tags to where it can be easy. And you could also play Steven Adams down here at 4.9, who's continuing to see around 30 minutes now. That's a big difference than the 20 minutes he was seeing there for 2 games. So Steven Adams, definitely an intriguing play. New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid is listed as questionable in this one. That is obviously some very big news. If he's out, Andre Drummond becomes a tremendous value play all the way down here at 6'3". We'll probably see 30 minutes or so. Could definitely be putting up a big score at that price tag. Unfortunately, he is priced up a little bit. For a guy that's only playing like 50 minutes a game, I think they kind of anticipated the possible rest. So he's priced at the 6'3", whereas opposed to being priced in the high 4K range. So it's not quite as easy to be just putting him in your lineups, but these other guys will get a big bump up in usage too on the 76ers. I mean, obviously Tobias Harris would get a big bump up here. As far as the pace in this game and everything, this game does come in with a 212.5 over/under with a 6.5 point spread in favor of Philly. The New Orleans Pelicans have been terrible on defense all season long, so I love targeting them. They are 26th in the league, 30th overall in half-court points per play as well. So they've been terrible in the half-court setting. They've been terrible defensively. I would love this spot for Tobias Harris if Joel Embiid's out. I would also really like Seth Curry and Shake Milton. All three of those guys should get a big bump up in usage. Really have to take a step forward. And all would be tremendous plays, like I said, in a very easy matchup taking on this New Orleans Pelican squad. Running it back on the Pelican squad, they're looking pretty healthy right now. So Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, kind of cutting into each other's usage a little bit. Both producing at a high rate, but I would suggest probably only playing one of them in your lineup if you're really trying to get there from an outside aspect. And as far as anyone else on the Pelicans, I'm going to continue to like Josh Hart in this priced mid-range. He's a very good rebounder. He put up 15 rebounds last time. I mean, this guy is doing stuff from a wing player that I don't know if we've seen in quite some time. He just grabs a ton of rebounds. So anytime I play Josh Hart, I feel really confident because even if he doesn't score, he'll typically get you there in the peripheral. So get your blocks, your steals, the rebounds. I mean, he only scored 11 points, real-life points last time, and he put up 43 DraftKings points. So if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. So he's someone I'm always looking to play in the mid-range, very reliable. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to continue to be a fade for me. He's just really not producing at a high rate. So Josh Hart would be my favorite play on the Pelican side on a price tag and upside at price tag basis. Cleveland taking on Atlanta as the next game on the slate. Evan Mobley continues to be out. Colin Sexton continues to be out. Trae Young is listed as questionable. If he is indeed out, we should see DeLon Wright, Bogdanovich get a big bump up. Also, Lou Williams can see a few more minutes, so that's certainly some big news. Definitely keep your eyes on that. And then obviously, Clint Capella, John Collins would get a big bump up in usage as well. So all the guys in the Atlanta side would become much better plays. As far as the total in this game comes in right now with a 219.5 over/under with a 3-point spread in favor of the Atlanta Hawks. So decently paced game. And if Trae Young's in, I mean, he's definitely the top option on the Atlanta side. He's priced up, but for good reason. He's really been performing at a high rate as of late. 59, 57, 60, 43, 56. He's been up there in the mid to upper 50s, maybe 60 plus a lot recently. So obviously he's taking on a lot of usage and commanding a lot of a role in this offense. So if he indeed is out, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's a lot of usage that's going out the window to these other guys. So Kevin Huerter, Bogdanovich, Gallinari possibly, all going to be tremendous plays. Bogdanovich is listed as questionable. So assuming that he's ruled out as well, obviously that's going to be even more usage to go around. So we'd be looking at taking a harder look to a Cam Reddish at 3-4, Lou Williams. So yeah, we can't really talk about this too much until we get confirmation that Trae Young isn't out. Jared Allen, Darius Garland going to continue to be great plays as long as there's no Colin Sexton. There's no Mobley, so Jared Allen's upside should be a lot more with Mobley not being out there. Both of these guys, the Cleveland side should be pretty rested up as well because there was a blowout last night, so they didn't even play their full allotment of minutes. So I'm not too worried about the back-to-back. Lauri Markkanen, Ricky Rubio. Kevin Love continues to be a guy that's not playing a lot of minutes, but he just produces at such a high rate that he can still get you there at his price tag. 32 last time, only 23 minutes. And I don't think people are really going to want to play him because he doesn't play a lot of minutes, and I don't blame them. It's a little bit risky, but the fact of the matter is it's a risk that can certainly pay off for you. So he's someone that I would have no issues with playing in your tournament lineups. And Ricky Rubio last night, I believe, had a huge game, 44 DraftKings points. He continues to be priced in the low 5K range, 34 of 44 the last 2 times out. Certainly an intriguing play as well. And then Darius Garland, like I said, you can pay up for him. Denver taking on Brooklyn. Next game on the slate, Kevin Durant continues to be listed as out. He entered the league's protocols, so the Brooklyn Nets are going to be really shorthanded. There's no James Harden. There's no Kyrie Irving. And he was also placed in the league's health and safety protocols, so that's just going to mean a lot of usage to go around on the Brooklyn side. That means Patty Mills is going to be a good option, even though he's 7-7 now. He's going to get a lot of usage. I'm a little bit skeptical about paying 7-7 for Patty Mills, though, to be honest with you. I think I'd much rather play the cheaper guys on the Brooklyn side of things. We have Blake Griffin priced all the way down to 5'9". He's dealing with knee tightness and is questionable in this one, so that's fun. Maybe even more guys being out if that's the case. Cam Thomas, Duke Jr., Edwards, all these guys are just going to continue to see a lot of minutes, a lot of usage. They're all priced around 5K. They all have way more upside than that. So I certainly do think these 3 guys are intriguing plays in your tournament lineups. As far as the total in this game right now comes with a 217.5 over/under with an 8.5 point spread in favor of Denver. So that's certainly worth keeping your eyes on. And this game could turn into a blowout. I think I have a lot more comfort targeting the Brooklyn side of things than the Denver side of things because I mean, this game probably does blow out, to be honest. It's a back-to-back. Brooklyn's really shorthanded. If you want to play Nikola Jokic, sure. I'm just a little bit worried about him getting there. Same rule for Will Barton and Aaron Gordon. They're priced in the mid-range, so they have a much more likelihood of getting there. So I'd almost rather play them than Nikola Jokic for that reason. But I'm a little bit skeptical to play anyone on this Denver side. Monty Morris has really been playing well. Honestly, he'd probably be my favorite option. Consistently producing at a pretty high rate here in the mid-30s, 5.5. I think he has a little bit more extended run than some of these other guys if the game does turn to a blowout. Jeff Green taking on his former team, the Brooklyn Nets, playing mid-30s a game. If you want to go there in the blowout, maybe that makes sense. I would say Bones Highland makes a lot of sense in a blowout, so maybe play the blowout approach. Maybe play some of these guys that'll get more runs in a blowout. And I think that my favorite option in that scenario would be Bones Highland. So the Brooklyn side's going to be so short-handed. You could play all of these guys, and I think it makes a lot of sense to get quite a bit of exposure to them tonight. LA Lakers taking on the Chicago Bulls. Anthony Davis has been ruled out for the foreseeable future. He's going to be out for a few weeks. That is going to make LeBron James, Russell Westbrook tremendous plays. They're going to take on a lot more usage. LeBron James has been playing tremendous as is. He's going to have to put the team on his back, as he always does. It seems to never fail. So LeBron James back to, carrying the load here. 213.5 over under, so not the highest total, but the fact of the matter is so much usage going through LeBron, so much usage going through Russell Westbrook. There's still going to be tremendous plays. We're also going to be taking a pretty hard look to other guys on this Lakers squad because there's no Talen Horton-Tucker. There's no Dwight Howard. So Carmelo Anthony and Malik Monk was ruled out as well. So Carmelo Anthony going to be a tremendous play as well at only 4.2. That's too cheap for him in the role he's expected to take on. He could certainly surpass that. We have Wayne Ellington, Isaiah Thomas, the new signing. Wayne Ellington's been playing a lot of minutes, so he's certainly an intriguing play for me. Isaiah Thomas, as far as the minutes he played, 22 minutes in his debut, so that's certainly something to take note of. Rajon Rondo's been playing right around 20 minutes, so all these guys certainly valid punt plays. And on the Chicago side of things, there is no Zach LaVine, so that's going to be a big bump up to other guys because he's not expected to return until after Christmas Day is the report. DeRozan, Vucevic, and Lonzo Ball all become very, very high usage guys, high upside plays. Lonzo Ball taking on his former team in the LA Lakers. If you don't think that means anything to him, I think you're crazy. Kind of shipped out of town like he was nothing, so I think that's a big revenge narrative here. I know you can't factor revenge narratives into your projections, but the NBA has a tendency of having a flair for the dramatic, so I like to take advantage of it when I can. I think he's going to be a great play. Same can be said for Vucevic. Alex Caruso, also a former Laker that could have a big game here. The fact of the matter is he is going to get a big bump up in usage with there being no Zach LaVine. So although it's a revenge narrative, the numbers do also back it up. And I certainly think that makes a lot of sense. The other guy I forgot to mention on the Lakers side of things would be DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan grades out as a tremendous play to me, only at 3K. Problem is they still only played him 10 minutes last time out. So my projections right now might be adjusted later on in the day because right now they have him playing right around 20 minutes. And my projections might be wrong in that aspect, and I'm always digging into the data, seeing the rotations, and fixing it. So, DeAndre Jordan, maybe. Probably not. He's minimum salary. He should be able to get there pretty early. Dallas taking on Minnesota's next game. There is no Luka Doncic. There is no Anthony Edwards. That is some very big news. Malik Beasley going to get a big bump up. Josh Okogie should see more run. But more importantly, D'Angelo Russell becomes a tremendous play in the mid-7K range. He's just going to absolutely smash at this price tag, I have a feeling, with there being no Anthony Edwards. Karl-Anthony Towns going to get a big bump up as well. We already know Kristaps Porzingis is getting a big bump up with there being no Luka Doncic. So certainly some intriguing pay-up options in this game. As far as the total, this game right now comes in with a 214.5 over-under with a 3.5-point spread in favor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So certainly going to be having quite a bit of interest in these guys. Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., they are priced more appropriately, but the fact of the matter is the usage is still going to be there. The upside is still going to be there. Tim Hardaway Jr. continues to be priced in the 5K range, so he's definitely way underpriced compared to Jalen Brunson. And then, like I said, Malik Beasley down here at 4.7, with there being no Anthony Edwards, he's going to be a tremendous play. 32 minutes last time out. He put up 33 DraftKings points, so he's going to be an option that you can certainly be looking to on the slate tonight. And you can maybe take a look to a Maxi Cleaver. On the Dallas side of things, he's played 30-plus minutes, right around 30 minutes a game, so he has that upside. Moses Brown at 3-1 continues to play some run at times. If the game does turn to a blowout, he could be a sneaky blowout option. But the game's expected to stay close, so I wouldn't be getting too excited about playing him. I think we have a pretty good idea of where we're going. I also do think that Patrick Beverley gets a pretty big bump up as well with there being no Anthony Edwards. So he's the other guy you could be taking a look to on the Minnesota side. Charlotte taking on Phoenix, last game on the slate. This game right now, Devin Booker is listed as questionable. He was a full participant in Saturday's practice. I'd expect him to be a full go in this one. Charlotte's defense has been terrible all season long, so that's certainly some big news. As far as the over-under in this game comes in with a 229.5 over-under with an 8-point spread in favor of Phoenix, and I continue to target Charlotte games because, like I said, they've been terrible defensively. The only bad part is Phoenix has been really good defensively. They're second in the league. Charlotte is second to last in the league. So for that reason, this game could turn into a blowout. And with Devin Booker returning, there's going to be some usage issues. You know, Chris Paul is going to definitely take a hit in his usage. DeAndre Ayton is going to take a hit in his usage. So on the Phoenix side of things, it becomes a little bit more difficult to target. And on the Charlotte side of things, LaMelo Ball is back now. So same can be said for these guys. You know, Miles Bridges, Gordon Hayward, all these guys are going to take a hit in their usage with all these guys being back. Terry Rozier's back. So this shorthanded squad that we were once seeing is no longer shorthanded. We were playing a bunch of Terry Rozier. We were playing a bunch of Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre revenge narrative here if you want to go there, but I don't think it's nearly as relevant because the fact of the matter is his rotation minutes just really aren't that locked in right now with these guys returning. So just something to keep in mind. And yeah, I mean, it's the fastest paced game on the slate. Certainly could be targeting guys. I would be really focusing on the main candidates. LaMelo Ball on the Charlotte side would be the guy I'm focusing in on. He has the most usage in the high up-tempo game. If the game's going to stay close, it's going to be because he has a big game. So I certainly think that he's worth playing in your lineups if you're paying up. Miles Bridges continues to be the second guy next to him. So those two guys are the guys I'm focusing on the Charlotte side, and on the Phoenix side, I'd be focusing on the big three: Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker. So yeah, guys, that's my overall breakdown of this slate today. Before I let you guys go, as always, I got to give you my lock of the night. But before we do, let's take a quick look to FanDuel because I want to make sure that the guys on FanDuel are covered as well, as I always do. So looking at some pricing discrepancies over on FanDuel, I think that Jaren Jackson Jr. is priced way too cheap at 6'7", so he's someone that I would certainly be having a lot of interest in over here on FanDuel. Standing out to me right away. Tobias Harris is only priced at 7-1. If there is no Joel Embiid, I think he becomes a very easy play over here on FanDuel. We talked about the Pelicans being really bad defensively. I think he's kind of an intriguing play already as is, but if there's no Joel Embiid, he becomes an even better smash play over here on FanDuel, so I definitely like him. We talked about Josh Hart in the mid-range on both websites. Dylan Brooks. Like I said, Josh Hart can rebound. He can get you a lot of peripheral stats, so he doesn't have to always do with his scoring. He had 41 FanDuel points last time out. He only scored 11 real-life points. So certainly going to have interest in him. Damian Lillard at 8.7 is way too cheap over here on FanDuel. As we discussed, with all the usage that he's getting, with there being no TJ McCollum, I think that he's a tremendous play over here. D'Angelo Russell, same thing, with there being no Anthony Edwards, another guy that's certainly really standing out to me tonight. At 8K, he's a little bit more appropriately priced over here on FanDuel, but he could still surpass that price tag for sure. Rashawn Holmes at 6'6", if he's enrolled in on the Sacramento side, would become a tremendous play for me. And then those other Sacramento guys as well. I think Buddy Hield's way too cheap over here as well. So certainly going to be plenty of options on FanDuel. We have Maytu as the value play. We talked about him. Buddy Hield certainly definitely really standing out to me over here. So I will say that at only 5'1" in the low 5K range at the upside at his price tag aspect in tournaments. He can be very scoring reliant. He's a little inconsistent, but I think that at 5'1", he's just someone that could really have a big game in comparison to his price tag with the minutes he's going to be playing. So just something I wanted to point out there. Risky, but could definitely pay off. So with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and give you my lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be D'Angelo Russell. Taking on this Dallas Mavericks squad. We had mentioned there is no Anthony Edwards in this one. That's going to be a big bump up in usage for D'Angelo Russell, and I don't think his price tag has been adjusted accordingly. 8K on FanDuel, putting up 1.09 FanDuel points per minute on the season. And then as far as DraftKings is concerned, looking at his production over there, priced at 7.4, putting up 1.13 DK points per minute. Projected to play in the mid to upper 30 minutes tonight. And like I said, no Anthony Edwards, should see a bunch of usage, bunch of minutes, underpriced. Get him in your lineups because he is my lock of the night. So yeah, guys, D'Angelo Russell, get him in your lineups, and that is all from me in this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the content, guys. If you did, please take a second to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Wish you all the best of luck tonight. I will be going live at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, an hour and a half before lock. We'll see you then. Good luck. And if you can't make the live stream, we will see you in the next one.